hear you. I hear you. I went to a Pope just down the road from here, so yeah.
I wanted to go to
Oh, where? How come Libran's no uniform, right? Okay.
but I live too far.
Oh, okay.
So I'm from Victoria Park and Finch.
Okay.
I had a friend whose family went to Pope,
Yeah.
but he was allowed to go to Pope because his brothers and was there, right?
Yeah.
But not necessarily like if you don't have family like back in the day, like
Oh,
couldn't
you
just
had
go
to have
any
like a
school.
hookup. Yeah. No.
They kind of had to tell you like go to your home school,
Nah, I hear you.
and but it's okay. Lieberman was fun.
Hey.
I went to Lieberman. I went to Vanier, Monsignor Fraser.
You went to a couple places, bro.
Yeah. I didn't end up finishing, but
Nah, I hear you.
I went to a lot of schools, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Just bouncing around.
Yeah.
I hear you.
That you know.
Nah, I'm kind of the same way. I started in Scarborough and then I went to Pickering, and then that's where a majority of my like youth came, and then midway through high school, that's when I transferred to Pope, and then that's when everything got started. So
Yeah.
yeah, man.
How was the experience at Pope?
Pope was I'm sorry, bro. Like I'm coming from a school in Pickering. It's called Pine Ridge.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody from Pine Ridge. But once I transferred to Pope, bro, like it was really exciting, man. First day was just on the announcements. Like literally, picture a kid from Pickering coming to Scarborough. First thing he hears when he goes to high school during the announcements. So kids, I understand what happened yesterday in the Regino's Plaza parking lot. Those people who are involved will be contacted, and then when you ask around, some crazy fight happens. So it's like, holy, bro, like
Bad takes.
yo, trust. No, but beyond that though, like in terms of creativity and just overall community, to be honest with you, coming back to Scarborough because I went there when I was really young, and then when I moved to Pickering, I was like 7 years old, and then I came back when I was like 16. So coming back to Scarborough, just noticing the community with everybody, all the events happening after school really kind of woke me up creatively. So
Yeah.
it was really dope. Like my creative life started when I came back to Scarborough, basically.
Let's talk about that. The creative life. What was the first thing you were introduced to?
The first thing, I'm trying to, yeah, it was dance, man.
Yeah.
Dance, yeah. Oh my gosh, dance, yeah.
And what kind is it like? What are we talking about in terms of dance? Like break dancing? Are we talking about?
Well, hip hop dance overall,
Okay.
but mainly like group stuff. So like crew dancing, like competition crew dancing. So I don't know if you remember America's Best Dance Crew.
Yes, of course.
Oh my gosh,
course.
bro.
Jabberwockies.
I watched that show religiously, bro, every
Yeah.
season. And when I came to Scarborough, I remember sitting in science class, and I was doing something called finger tutting at the time, and that's where I discovered it on America's Best Dance Crew. I was just practicing at my desk. It's when you like basically dance with your fingers. I know it sounds crazy, but it looks a lot better than like,
How it sounds.
actually sounds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Finger tutting.
Yeah, you know, tutting like with your hands, your full hands and all that. I know it looks like I'm a robot right now,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
promise you guys, search it up. It looks so cool.
Okay.
But basically, you're doing that with your fingers, and you're basically making geometric shapes with your fingers and seeing how they connect and all that stuff.
Okay.
So basically, like a Rubik's cube, but instead of like the actual cube, you use your hands and all that to connect it. So pretty cool. You can do it at your desk. You can do it wherever. So I was doing that at my desk in science class when I just moved from Pope, and then somebody else in my class I noticed was doing it too, and then we ended up linking up on like some project, and you know how they make everybody group up, and then I asked him like, yo, you know about finger tutting, because that was like the cool underground thing at the time, and he's like, yeah, yo, and I'm like, yo, you know anybody else who could dance? And he's like, he told me about other people at the school, and then I just told him like, do you think you could reach out to them and tell them all to come out like after class and all that, and we meeting them all, and then we did it, and then from that became like we started performing at like I guess you could say like assemblies and little events after school.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we got the opportunity to compete in something called Toronto's Best High School Dance Crew.
Wow.
We ended up winning that, and then that's what took off, because that video got like at the time like 200,000 views when it was posted to YouTube by one of the family members of the people in the crew. And then from there, we started getting opportunities outside of school. And we competed outside of school, and we won more things, and then it just started to expand. And then that was the start of everything for me. So.
What's the status of the group now?
The group, well, we all split up, like, just life stuff. Like, we're all cool, but, like, some of us, like, 2 of us are videographers. So, one of them's, like, a wedding videographer. He's doing really well there. Yo, shout out to Ryan. And then, like, the other 2, one moved, so he's not even in the country anymore, I don't think. I hope he's doing well. Looks like he's doing well. It looks like he's having hella fun, so good job to you. And then my other boy, he just stayed down here and went to post-secondary. He's having a good life, too. So everybody's still doing well. It's just it's not dance, but, like, we're still cool. We know what it is when we see each other. You know, it's like we haven't skipped a beat. So, yeah, shout out to those guys, man.
That's dope. Finger tutting sounds like it comes from, like, breakdancing when, you know, they would kind of pop lock.
Yeah, so it's in that world, like, it's in, like, the popping world. Like,
yeah.
Like, at the time, I don't know if people still do it. I haven't really seen too many, like, popping battles of late, but it's always been, like, associated in that popping section, if you get what I'm saying. Like, in between, like, the Fresnos and all their little cool tricks, like, they might bust out, like, a finger tutting thing, and it's almost like a cool fine detail that you put, like, picture like a layered cake. It's like the icing on top of the cake. You get what I'm saying? Like, once a guy pulls that out and he's been doing good, everybody goes nuts, you know? So it's pretty dope, man.
That's dope. What was the biggest competition that you guys won? Like, or even the most impactful competition that you've won or lost?
So, impactful? I'm not, there's a couple. Like, in terms of impact, like, that got us off the ground was that first one, Toronto's Best High School Dance Crew, just solely off of the name, because, like, I don't know if you guys know on the other end where it's like YouTube's all about titles, you know?
Yeah.
So the fact that we had Toronto's Best and then Dance in the title, once somebody uploaded that and uploaded the competition name, took off, especially when it says first place on it, took off from there. And, like, I know maybe not everybody in the world knew about it, but everybody locally, like, everybody locally who was in the scene at least, knew about it after that. And especially because everybody was there at the event too, but after that, it went nuts. And then another one was Stomp. There's, like, this, I don't know if it's still going on, but at the time it was called a big competition called Stomp. We ended up winning that. It didn't feel as big when we won it, because, like, we came from, like, the whole, like, underground scene, and those audiences are wild. And at the time, like, Toronto was on a big dance wave, so everybody used to come out to those events. Those events were packed. But when it came to Stomp, Stomp was more kind of, like, mainstream in the city.
Yeah.
And when we won it, it was cool because we got bragging rights after that. But, like, afterwards, once you mentioned Stomp, people knew about it. Oh, okay, those guys won Stomp. They're serious kind of thing. Yeah. And then the biggest one, and another biggest one in my opinion, the most updated, was World of Dance.
World of Dance.
Yeah. So do you remember the show?
Maybe.
It had, like, Jennifer Lopez when they went mainstream and all that stuff, like, on actual TV.
Yeah.
So before TV, they were, like, a touring competition.
Okay.
And then what happened was that touring competition got so popular, that's how they got the TV show. But it was right before they got the TV show. They used to only tour, like, in America.
Yeah.
But they did a Toronto one.
Oh,
so, yeah, World of Dance Toronto. And then I remember, I think it was because of me and my boy, because where our birthdays were located, we just barely got into the adult division, was where we wanted to be, because those are serious guys there, you know? The guys were doing backflips and all that, so we wanted to compete with those guys.
Yeah.
So I think it was because of me or I think my birthday was first, so I was the first one to turn 18, and then that's what qualified us for the adult division.
Dope.
And then we got in there, and then we ended up winning that. Oh. So, yo, it was such an experience. I encourage everybody out there, any kind of extracurricular activities, not just dance, but, like, basketball, or especially if they're creative, like, in the arts, yo, get involved, find the community. It's so fun. Like, my high school life was, like, amazing, you know? Like, so much experiences, you know? So,
that's good to hear as, like, you know, a young individual having a good experience with high school. Not many people do.
Yeah, I know.
For some people, high school is stressful and
I could
hard.
only imagine. Stress. Yeah, so.
But no, that's shout out. Hey, man, it's the man. I'm sure it's your boy Vagez. Gutsy's on hiatus. He's on vacation, man. And I'm here with rapper, dancer, videographer. He's doing real big things right now as we speak. It's your boy, Ammaar, in the motherfucking building. Y'all make some noise for him. when you're at home. Clap your hands at home.
That's
Yeah.
good, everybody.
How you feeling, man? Mental health check. How have you
Yo,
been?
amazing, man. Amazing. I can't be happier. You know, like, I always say, like, I can't complain, and, like, I really can't complain. Like, you know, just working hard. Like, I'm a very value-oriented guy, so provide value, you get love back, you get that value back, and yeah, it's been working so far, so I can't complain at all, man.
No, that's dope, man.
Yeah.
Back to dance a little bit. What's your background? Like, what's your background?
Like ethnicity background?
Yeah.
So I'm Jamaican. So
Okay.
Jamaican Canadian. Yeah,
Do you feel
yeah.
like that's where it came from? That dance, like, cause you know Jamaicans love to dance, gully creeper, like,
Yo,
you know what I'm
I'll
saying?
tell you, I wouldn't just limit it to dance. Like now
Okay.
that I'm grown, before I would have, but
Yeah.
like now that I'm grown and I seen, let's be real, like all the other islands, let's be real, yo, Jamaican people, like when it comes to creativity in general, bro, I'm not gonna like Jamaicans kind of run it, yo. Like, yo, Africans out there, I know you guys got your thing going on, and I rate it. Like, I really rate what you guys. But yo, Jamaicans on top when it comes to creativity and influence, bro. Like, I really think that's what I got from that, because you can give a Jamaican anything, and they're gonna make something cool out of it. But not only are they gonna make something cool out of it, they're gonna make it influential. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna take it there, you know. And that's what I love about like my people, you know.
Where would you put Canada then? Because you are Canadian. Where would you put the Canadian aspect of things then? You know, in terms of your creative journey.
With that's all opportunity, you know. So like the creativity and the talent is like the Jamaican, I think the Jamaican culture, that's where a lot of it draws, especially in hip hop, especially anything hip hop and like music or showmanship. The Jamaican aspect comes out because there's just something in me that, yo, like it's like almost like an eternal chip on my shoulder where it's like, yo, I need to get this idea out, but I also need to get it out in a way where it's respected. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when it comes to the Canadian side, it's the opportunity. It's like, okay, now I'm in a place where like I could actually make this stuff happen, you know?
Yeah,
Like
that's
in
facts.
terms of getting, I know we're not the US, but still, like, it's still really good. It's still a premier country in terms of getting your message out there, getting your brand out there, just in anything you do, even with business, you know?
You feel so?
Yeah, in terms of, well, more so than in the other countries, you know? I'm pretty, like, I'm almost positive it's a lot harder in the other countries to get your message out, just because, again, we're next to the US, we're able to promote over there. In terms of like quality of life and living and all that stuff, that's what allows me to kind of do my thing, just the opportunities in general, you know?
I think you have a point.
Yeah.
I think you have a point. I think people forget that aspect. You know, we always complain like our culture, or hip hop culture in Canada, doesn't really have an infrastructure. But to me, it sounds like you are saying opposite. We do have an infrastructure somewhere.
Yeah, like
You
we
believe
have
so?
more of a, it's kind of like a glass half full mentality I like to carry, but like we do have, even though I know it seems a bit bleak at times over here, but you gotta realize how good we have it, you know what I'm saying? And something's better than nothing, and we definitely have something, if anything, you know? So that's how I think, you know?
No, I believe you. After dance, what came after? Was it rapping or was it videographer work?
Nah, so okay, so it's kind of like a mixture too, because the videography got started through the dance.
Okay.
Because at the time there was like this really influential. They're still up. Their videos are still up. I think they stopped creating, but Yak Films. So YAK Films. So they're like videographers at the time, but they covered the dance scene in all over America. So say like the Bay Area had a certain way. They have a really I love places that retain their individuality and how they do things and make that cool, you know? So Bay Area has a really distinct way of dancing. Same thing with Memphis. Really distinct ways of dancing. And like they would cover those things. They would go there, document that, document the culture, how it started. Then they would document the top dancers in that area and put them on a pedestal on their YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I just found that amazing. Like I was addicted to their, and they're done really well. Their videos are amazing. Like how I got onto Late Twins, you know the guy.
Yeah,
tall guy.
yeah. I love those guys. Yeah.
Yo, I seen them on there first before they even got mainstream.
Oh, no way.
And then I backed, like this is before they got with Beyonce and all that stuff. I'm
Okay.
saying like before anybody knew their names, I seen them on there because there's this, I think it's called Persian Rugs. I still remember the name, you know what I'm saying? So the video was like in this like carpet shop, like a rug shop.
Yeah.
And they were sitting down and the music started playing and they were taking turns dancing. It looked, it sounds I'm oversimplifying it because I just don't know how to explain it, but you guys gotta go watch it. Like Yak Films, they twins, like you guys will see it, can't miss it. Amazing. And then I backtracked there and they won some humongous competition called Just Debout, I think is how you pronounce it, in France. France is like a huge dance. I'd like to say a dance mecca in terms of hip hop. And they won that over there. And imagine just you and your bro like going up against, it's literally the world. Like best dancers from every country going over there in hip hop. And they won everything and then they got on there and then they took off from there and then went on to do like dancing for Beyonce. And now they got their own thing going on. So it's amazing, you know?
Yeah, no, that is freaking amazing. So pretty much you did videography and rapping at the same time.
Yeah. So the video, oh, my bad. I meant to connect it. So yeah, the video, to connect it, I get lost in thought all the time. So let me know.
I almost got lost in the thought. I'm like, where were we going with this?
Yeah.
Because I was going to start asking more dance questions. And I'm like, but we're not here for dance too much. But
I'm telling you, my life has, like people around me can probably testify to this. Like my life has so many chapters that go so deep because I got so inspired by it. Like, so that's just one. But the dancing connected to the videography because when I had my crew and we started like moving, you know what I'm saying? Like it needed to be documented and I wanted to do something like the Yak Films, but for my crew.
Yeah.
And put our crew on YouTube, especially after how the competition videos are doing. So that's how it started. And then after that, I got into rap. And then from those skills in videography, that's when I started taping myself in rap too. Because it's like, why pay for a videographer if I can tape myself? But
exactly.
I still recommend, like now that I'm a videographer, I know it sounds a bit biased, but I'd still recommend a videographer just because of the stress. You don't want all that stress of handling your music career and handling your videos and editing them. You want to put that stress on somebody else while you can handle music and marketing. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
So yeah, that's how those two got started. So.
Okay. So rap then. I want to talk about your rap career a little bit.
No worries.
How did that start? What gave you the passion to just get in the booth?
To be honest, like from the dance, this is kind of going to give you like an insight to how I think kind of thing. From the dancing, I remember dancing. We used to dance to all, like dancing takes music, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, like I could dance now. I've done like the goals I've set out to do. I'm not going to say I did everything in dance because I didn't come anywhere close to doing everything. But everything I wanted to do in dance and accomplish, we went out and accomplished. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, it's like, all right, so I could dance to the music. Why not just create the music? You know what I'm saying? And then that went into the whole rapping thing because I think at that time, there was a renaissance in rap at that time. That was where the whole Beast Coast movement with Joey Badass, Flatbush Zombies, those guys, you know what I'm saying? I'm missing one other, the underachievers too. Like the East Coast was eating, like they were killing it, bro. All three groups, I found it so cool that all three groups, different sections of the same city, like came together and just created a movement, was able to release their own things, but then still collaborate with each other to make a movement. And at the same, I think a little bit after was when I caught on to like YG and the West Coast stuff that was going on too at that time. So it was just a humongous uprising of just pure authenticity. And I love that because it was so creative for me. And so obviously that inspired me. And at that time, I'm like, yo, why not create the music? I'm like, okay, let's rap because like I feel inspired to rap and that's how it started. So
okay.
Yeah, man.
And then after the rapping, how do you feel your career has went? Like, are you full with your career? Like, are you happy with where it is or where it may have took you?
So with the rapping, I stopped the rapping. I'm going to leave the rapping to, I've learned to like, okay, let me leave the rapping to the other people because I've learned a valuable lesson in it. And it's play towards your strengths. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I was bad. Like, I think I was pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? I listen to my music on the daily still. I record my music, but I don't put it out there. I just, almost like manifesting is how I use it. Because on track, I know they say this when your lyrics are being put up against you in the court of law or whatever like that. Like, oh, this is just manifesting. It's not real or whatever. But I'm saying, like, really use it as that. Like, you don't have to put the music out there. But the fact that you can make the music you want to listen to, do it. Because then you can inspire yourself, whether you're at work listening to music, on the car ride home or whatever, and you're like, yo, I need a track that's going to uplift me. Or I need a track that's going to help get me through this crazy time in my life. Or I need a track that's going to make me hustle. Because, like, it's overtime at work. It's literally happened to me. Overtime at work, 14-hour shift, you know what I'm saying? And like I'm dead tired, but yo, put those earphones in, get that song going, and like now you got that adrenaline rush and you got that boost. Like say if you're in that money making spirit and you need to keep your mind focused on that, yo, pop in the record that you made about money and getting money because it's about your situation. So do it. And so that's how I use music now. I don't really release it at all. I tend to stick more to the videography side because I've seen the value of helping others and like, yo, and playing towards your strength and seeing like what naturally people want from you. Like when you do that plus helping others, like sky's the limit, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. So now your videography career now.
Yeah.
How have you kind of like, how has it been shooting videos for yourself and then, you know, saying, hey, let me just open up my doors to shoot for other people? How has that experience been for you so far?
Yo, it's been so liberating. Like I'm telling you, as an artist, a hip hop artist, this is what I usually find with hip hop artists. Not everyone, so please don't take this to offense. But I'm saying a lot of hip hop artists think me, I, this is my world. Like I'm the center, you know what I'm saying? Like and I don't blame them because it's your music, it's your career, you gotta take it serious. And that was the frame of mind I'm doing, like, oh, I had to learn how to shoot my music videos and all that stuff. Why don't you? You know what I'm saying? And like, no, it's not like that. Like, offer your services, like help out. Cause once you guys create community, what do they say? A rising tide lifts all ships. So once you create a community and that community starts rising, everybody rises with it.
Yeah.
And it's great for you as an individual because now, say if you get cold, you could go tap your friend over here and be like, who's hot right now? You could go be like, yo, let's do a track together. You'd be like, yeah, come true. Like, you guys kill it, and then you guys all stay on top. There's enough money for everybody. So that's how it felt. Like at first, I was very selfish with it. I'm not gonna lie to you, but then something just clicked in my mind, and like I remember an older head telling me, "Yo, offer value. Like offer value. Don't be afraid to, like, find something you would do even for free. Don't be afraid to give it out for free at first." Because that value is going to find its way back to you. Obviously, don't get yourselves in any bad situations or deals or anything like that.
Yeah.
But if you use that correctly, that value that you put out there is going to come back to you some way, somehow. And like he told me that, I tried it, and I promise you, like, it works. It works. Because people, it seems like we're in a very selfish culture right now, but people still understand value. And if you give it to them, just naturally, they're going to want to give back.
Yeah.
You know? So
yeah.
it doesn't have to be necessarily monetary all the time, but you just got to figure out, yo, like, how could this help me? How could I help them? And to me, that's true networking. So my friend told me when you network, offer them value. And like, when you network to them, see if there's any holes wherever they are, fill those holes, and they'll do the same for you. So that's how I do it.
That's a fact. How long has it been since you started to do this for the public?
For what, the videography?
Yeah.
Like maybe 3 to 5 years, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah. So
What's your biggest highlight so far?
So biggest highlight, this, man, the Ammaar show.
Yeah.
This whole spotlight adventure.
Yeah.
Like, it started with, obviously, as a videographer, you want clients paying and all that stuff. But I started to realize, like, not everybody has resources like that. And I don't blame any other videographer for not thinking like this or even thinking against this, because that's, like, money makes the world go around. But, like, I used to charge people, and then I noticed, like, the people who could afford it, not to say you guys can't afford it, but, like, the people who had the resources to kind of sew into it, it's typically the people who are focusing on life first. So that skill wasn't necessarily there when it came time to do the music. And, like, you imagine editing something for 5 hours, 6 hours, and you absolutely hate it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I found out. And then I was like, okay, especially something that fluctuates as much as, like, hip-hop.
Yeah.
Probably not the best idea to make a living too much. You're living dependent on that, especially at first. So I'm like, why don't I just work with the people I want to work with? And obviously everybody likes, you know what I'm saying, free. I don't want to make it about the free stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's when you get the real, like, people who have no good intentions. But, yo, help out the people who you really rate and, like, offer that value. And if they take it, you guys could also rise to the top. Because if I'm passionate about the music and this project, like, sky's the limit, because I'll go in on the editing. I'll I'll make sure I do it not to say I won't do it to the best of my abilities otherwise, but now I'm really motivated because it's something I like. I want to see you go to the top, you know what I'm saying? So why not open that up and do that for the city? And yo, the response has been crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
How much submissions so far?
Yo, over 80 submissions I had. I had to cut it off, man. I had to cut it off.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, bro, this music, like, there is so much fire. And, like, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. If I hear it and I like it, I'm going to want to shoot to it. So I had to put a cutoff because, like, right now, even, like, the accepted people, I probably accepted almost 40 people.
Nice.
So, like, I get to give that out, give that value to 40 people and create something with those 40 people. But, again, it's a weekly basis. So that's going to, if you map that out, that's taking us almost into next year.
Yeah, yeah.
Of videos. So I'm like, I have to cut it off here. I can't take no more submissions because I can't have people waiting on, like...
On their work.
Yeah, like 6 months in advance to work with me. So, yeah, I cut it off there and, like, I made it like an episodic series because it just makes sense. I like to picture things like... I like to have systems. So this system is an episodic system. So say if somebody catches on, like, as a viewer, somebody catches on at, like, maybe episode 20. Like, now, because they see that episode 20, they subliminally know there's 19 more episodes behind that. So say if they like that, I'm like this as a consumer. Pay attention to how you move as a consumer. So I'm like this as a consumer. If I keep coming back to something and I realize it's a part of a series, eventually I'm going to be like, yo, this is sick, man. Who made this? And then I'll look at the channel, look at the name. Say if it's a videographer, I'll be like, let me check out the rest of their stuff. Say if it's an artist, let me check out the rest of your stuff too. And then that's what just opens up everything. So that's the long play, you know?
You are not lying because there's this YouTube channel that I just recently tapped into that talks about, what does he talk about? He talks about, I think, old movies and the scene that was the most important part of that movie.
Yeah.
Like, I think I watched one about Django, and he was talking about the situation where Candy was, and the slave, he was going to get the dogs to eat him, and he was like, the guy was like, this scene is so important because it shows how much like fear that they have on Candy, because you don't see the slave actually getting mauled by the dogs. You just hear the voices and the interaction with Django and Candy during that altercation. And I'm like, yo, this series is so sick. I have to go back. Like, so at the end, you have that little thumbnail. I'm like, oh yeah, he has one of that. Boom, I clicked it right away. I did like three one shot, because they're small takes, so like 15 minutes, 10 minutes. So I'm like, yeah, this is enough value for my time to sit and pay attention to this, because like you said, think as a consumer, you know what I mean? Yeah. I like that stuff, so I'm gonna watch. Like, there's a lot of stuff as stunted growth. That guy does a series about artists that had their growth stunted. So like, for instance, the last one I saw today was, who was the artist? Damn. Baby Bash.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember Baby Bash from back in the day, but he was like, 3 reasons why Baby Bash's career is not where it's supposed to be. And he gives those reasons. He also has one on basketball. Yeah. Like, basketball stars are supposed to be superstars, but obviously something happens. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So that whole stunted series, I tap into that guy. That guy's amazing.
Exactly.
And a lot of gaming content too, like about like the tips you never knew and stuff like that. Exactly. I deep dive into those.
But you see how like these things are like, well, just being on YouTube, being a part of social media, you're already a part of that almost system, even if you don't mean to be. Like, because once you catch on to one video, and especially if you notice it's coming from the same creator all the time, or the same people all the time, you're going to want to at some point kind of backtrack and be like, yo, where's the origin of this? Because I want to see where like all the rest of this stuff's at, you know?
No, honestly, it's dope. So hold on. So with your series, right? Yeah. You're offering with the 40 people you accepted. Yeah. These are 40 free videos. Yeah. For your YouTube channel, for your YouTube channel.
Exactly.
Is there contracts in place where you own the song?
Exactly. Well, not own the song, but I own the media. So like the video itself. Yeah. So I have that on my YouTube channel it goes to. Obviously, if things get monetized and all that stuff, we start reaching out and start cutting deals and all that stuff. Okay. But right now, it's just to kind of put it. This is going to lead into another big, like, section, if you don't mind. But
no, go ahead.
Yeah. Like, it's going to spark another renaissance in Toronto. Because, yo, our last one had so much potential. And I don't think people realized we had one at the time. I think people still don't even realize that we had one at the time. But when the weekend was coming, it was about around the time when weekend, like often those type of tracks.
Yeah.
Like in this, and like just being a part of Toronto was just so flipping cool. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that in all senses of the word, because like there was just so many underground artists at the time that we dropped the ball on, man. And as I can't lie, I gotta hold the fans accountable. As fans, like, yo, we dropped the ball because we had so many potential like stars at the time. But like obviously now they went on to do their own things. But like we could have really rallied behind them and had like really opened that up beyond just the mainstream acts you see today. Like imagine having the mainstream acts you have today and then having all the other underlying acts that are still internationally known, kind of like in Atlanta. You have like Young Thug, but then you have other artists, smaller artists, you know what I'm saying, under them that are still making noise that you still know about on every end, you know?
Yeah.
So
like Gotti or Little Gunna, I'm Gunna back then, or Baby. Like,
exactly.
All the YSL members.
But do you see how they came up and panned out? Like they came up and then like Young Thug still is a superstar, don't get me wrong, and he's still respected as one. But those guys are like amazing now too, you know what I mean? And they're all well off, and they have a community. Like Atlanta is now known as like a hit making area, you know?
Yeah.
People move to Atlanta just like they moved to New York, just like they moved to LA now.
Yeah.
To go make hits.
Yeah.
We could have had that. We still can have that in Toronto, and that's what I'm trying to show people with what I'm doing. I know Beat Cave has like an event they have every so often where all the artists come together. That's what they're trying to inspire too. So I rate anybody who's trying to do that right now. But yeah, like that. That whole time was just amazing, and we dropped the ball on it. So I'm trying to inspire another one. Is what I'm trying to say.
We're gonna stick a pin on that because we're gonna go back on that.
Yeah.
Now with your with the Ammaar show. Now, you said that once it's monetized and whatnot, splits would be done. Now, with artists handing in your music, are you inclined to take an artist song that's already out, or are you asking for a song that's not out? Well, I feel like that's important.
Yeah. So what I do is I let them choose in the submission process. I let them choose because a lot of them had that same question: does it need to be unreleased, or can I? I'm like, to be honest, at the end of the day, I'm not trying to find hits. Like, well, obviously, if you have a hit, like obviously we're gonna go for that. But I'm saying more so when I check out that song, and if I'm interested, or if I hear your talent's like right there, I literally found myself going into their catalog afterward, whether it's unreleased or released, and trying to see, okay, is this talent consistent, or was it just a one-off time? And for most of the artists, if not every artist on the list, that's what I did that for, and they're good artists. So I know that, especially because the timeline's so far in advance for some of them, I know that by the time I get to them, they're going to have even more heat. It doesn't have to be that one song they did. So it could be unreleased, but they may release it like while they're waiting for a video or something like that.
Yeah.
But I trust them to make another one, and then we could just pick that other one and do it. So.
That is so fucking dope.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
Another question I have, actually. Now, when it comes to the music videos, are these going to be like actual music videos, or are we talking about like mic drop videos?
Like see what I'm so glad you asked that question, because I'm going for actual music videos. Obviously, like I took down that paywall barrier just to empower the artists, because there's so many artists that go under the radar because they just don't have the resources. So that's part of the reason why I took it down. In the like terms and all that stuff, I mentioned something about having a budget. It's not mandatory, but it is strongly advised. Just to at least get a location or a car or something like that. Some type of prop, whether it's a model or something, to enhance the video. But we could still do a run and gun no matter what. It's not mandatory.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do that to avoid the mic drop thing, because I like how everybody's doing it in the city. I'm seeing some catch on too, and a couple concepts that they're doing with it that are interesting. But the thing is, I don't want to do that for myself, because again, I'm going for YouTube. I'm trying to set myself apart from the crowd, and I want to create something that's unique, you know? So that's why it's episodic. That's why I called it like a show. It runs off of my Instagram name, The Ammaar Show, because it's through my perspective, and it's through my opinion and like my curation that people could trust. Okay, I'm watching this artist. I could trust that they're at least good to like watch. Let me give this a try because I may like it, you know? So remember Hit List back in the day, or 106 in Park?
Yeah.
It's almost like that, but like I'm running the show and I'm like, okay, here's an artist you could choose from. Here's a bunch of artists from Toronto you guys could choose from. Choose your favorite. There's no excuses not to support this scene because we have so much talent here. You could obviously support your other artists in the other places or whatever, but we're known as a Screwface city. We like to hate on our own and all that stuff. No more excuses. Here's everybody. I took down the paywall and all that stuff to present you guys with a good batch of artists that you could support. And even them, they could get inspiration off of all the support and keep creating. Because we lose a lot of artists because they're not getting any traction, you know?
This is what I want you to do. And I hope you listen to me.
Yeah, no problem.
Every 5th week,
Yeah.
I want you to do like a long form, like a super long form episode of the previous videos that you've done. So like
a countdown kind of thing?
Not a countdown,
Yeah.
but like this. Hey guys, it's Ammaar. You know what I'm saying? This is week 5. You guys just previously watched 4 of probably the dopest videos you could ever seen. But if you didn't, here's a rundown on what's happening, and these are the artists, and do small bios of all those 4 artists.
Okay.
That was
so like just
presented.
You're saying just me being like, okay, this guy released this week. This is why I found him dope.
Yep, and here's a little bit about him. You know what I'm saying? And talk to him.
And then do that. Oh, okay.
You know, my name is Hot Fire. You know what I'm saying? I linked up with Ammaar because I feel like I have the skill, but you know what I'm saying, the budget's not there. But he came up with the sick program, and I came from this down there. Small bio.
Yeah.
And then go into his video.
Yeah.
Not even, you don't even have to do the full thing. You could do a snippet, and then it's like adding on to your show.
Exactly.
So that if people catch that episode,
yeah,
then they can go watch the rest.
So it's like almost like a mini interview.
It's a recap.
A recap of the artist.
A recap episode of the whole Ammaar show.
Okay. Yeah, man. I might just reach out to you to catch more detail because that's a good idea for real, man.
Listen, we got all the ideas here, man. We got all the ideas here, man. But honestly, I feel like your series will catch on.
Thank you.
Any plans on making I know you said YouTube is the buy-all, end-all for all this, but do you still plan on creating, obviously, marketing for the discovery platforms, like the short-form aspects of these
So
things?
with each music video, I chop it down into smaller sections, and that's what I'll use to post.
Yeah.
And then, again, like, it's all about collaboration, bro. Like, when I used to think it was corny, but it's true. I'm a type of guy, like, I'll ask the why, and I'll even bump my head a few times trying to figure out the why until you tell me the why, because the why is what's so important. That gives you the motive behind the actions. But so collaboration is just so important with art because you guys get to expand your audience, expand your reach. If I through this, I'm collaborating again. Think about it, guys. Like, I just connected with over 80 people for submissions, and then I just locked in with. I just made the promise to lock in with 40 people. So now I got everybody paying attention right now, and I get to tap into every one of those 40 people's worlds.
Yeah.
And then through that, when I collaborate on those little short posts or whatever, through that collaboration, their audience is seeing me, my audience is seeing them. Whoever is attracted to the content, I keep. Whoever isn't, moves on. But still, like, we still make those connections. I'm connecting with thousands of people, like, potentially through these. And not to mention, say, if we do because I gave this opportunity, say we do come up with, like, some fire heat that catches on, even more so, because now we just blew up an artist that shows you guys, yo, over here is popping. Like, come over here, trust my taste. Don't worry, I'll put you guys onto magic. And that gives you hope as an artist because now if you know you're making heat in that basement, but money is an issue or something like, yo, you could come to me, just pitch it to me. We'll talk turkey, and then we'll film that and put it out, and boom, like, there we go. It helps Toronto, helps me, it helps you, helps everybody around us because everybody's connected in a way. If they come to the Ammaar show, again, if we're at episode 20, they come to the Ammaar show because episode 20 blew up. There's 19 of you guys behind that. And there's still another 20 of you guys in front of that. Everybody's going to benefit off that exposure. So this is what it's like to collaborate and work, and that is true networking, in my opinion.
No, 100%. And building an infrastructure, even a small one.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So,
2 more things about this. Now, how is the balance between men and female with the 20 submissions that you've accepted? Is it a even balance? Is there more men than female? Is
I'm
more
going to keep
female
it real
than men?
with you. It's nowhere near even balance.
So there's
I'm
more
not
men.
afraid to lie. Yeah, way more guys. But, like, the thing is the mixture of, and it's not because, like, there's no preconceived notion of, like, women just sucking. No, they aren't. And in my opinion, yo, the girls at the top, like, they're kind of killing it more than the guys. And I'm not just saying that to say that. Like, if you look at it, they take their careers and their moves, especially when I interact with them, you could see they take their careers more seriously. Whereas guys like, yeah, they'll release a hot track or whatever, but it's almost for bragging rights. Whereas women are more business oriented, is what I'm finding. They'll have a manager. They'll have like things lined up in the future, like a whole schedule of how to. I don't know if it's because it's just naturally a thing that women do, like they're just a bit more organized naturally, but they'll have everything lined up in advance, and their next move is planned ahead of time. Whereas the guys aren't really like that. Even though if they were, they'd be so much more ahead. But even still, in the submission process, like it's a lot more guys than women. But the thing is, the women I'm working with, bro, like serious. I'm telling you, do not sleep. And everybody knows me. Like I don't do that gender thing where I'm like, I'm not into that. Yo, if you have talent, you have talent. If you're fire, you're fire. I don't care if you're a woman. I don't care if you're a man, whatever. Yo, these girls are serious, bro. Putting down serious heat. And this is coming from somebody who doesn't really listen to like the mainstream female alternatives. In my opinion, though, like they're putting down bars. They got the vibe. They got their image on point. All that, like, so much respect. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's so dope. And the type of music. Now, you know, Toronto is very, very forgiving for a lot of street talent. So what are we talking about talent-wise in terms of, like, are we talking about street shit?
No.
Like,
I made
conscious stuff? Is it a blend? Is it a good mix?
It's a good mix. That's the thing.
Blend?
Like,
okay.
I don't want to be... First, in my opinion, there's two scenes in Toronto. So there's the heavily gangster drill side to Toronto that everybody's... familiar
loves
with. Everybody seems to love and all that stuff.
And
then there's the other side where it's more of like the stuff we hear on the day-to-day on the radio and stuff, where it's other life experience other than just dissing your ops, you know? So in this submission, I got a good mixture of everybody. So I got the heavily gangster guys, and I had to reject some of them because it's like, look, I can't cover. I had to explain to them too, because some of them I would have taken because they are talented, and I explained to them, yo, you're talented. But again, in the music, I'm hearing names, I'm hearing descriptions of certain situations and all that I don't want to hear. And I just don't want to post this because I feel like it could like lead into other things for you. And I don't want to be a part of that for you. I don't want to bring that kind of bad energy on you, you know? So again, it's manifesting. When you make these songs, take into account you're manifesting things as well when you're saying it. And like if you're I get like you can still brag and all that stuff about what you got, what you're toting and all that. But once I start hearing names when so-and-so is doing this and that and this and that, like when I start hearing names, that's when I'm like, that sounds like an actual situation that happened. I want no parts, bro. I don't want anybody thinking I'm trying to glorify this or I'm with you in this and this person. Bro. So that's what I got. That's my message to like the drill scene and all that stuff. You guys are super talented in what I'm hearing. You guys have a good knack for especially melodies. And your bar, like, even though your gun bars are crazy descriptive, like crazy violent, they're so sick. Like some of the analogies you guys be making and some of the literary devices you guys make, absolutely genius. But let's just do that with something other than bullets tearing apart flesh. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, fam, I heard a man say he had a computer in his gun. I'm just like, nigga, what? Like, is it a Halo or something? I'm like, yo. But honestly, that healthy balance is so fucking important. You know what I'm saying? Because we gotta appease to all of these.
That's what I'm saying. And
to all the people what they love.
The thing is, you could lose that legitimacy if you try and filter that too much. Is what I noticed. Because a lot of guys, and I rate where they're coming from with it. They don't want none of that violent stuff or whatever. But you gotta accept that is an aspect of hip hop too. But you could draw the line where it's at. So I do have some artists that you'll hear who are great, but the thing is, there's a limit that I put on it that I hear in the mainstream too, that they don't go past, you know? So that's what I do here as well. So
actually, I heard Flo play that Jamaican song by Squash, and he was like, it was just a gun song, and I'm like, yo, I can't believe Flo's playing this, and they don't play no type of Toronto music. But I guess what you're saying is right though. Once you throw names and descriptions and shit like that, it kind of gets different and awkward.
Exactly.
It's not like, you know, you don't want to put anybody in a position to like.
If I'm listening to this song, and then I'm paying attention to your branding as an artist, and I'm starting to get worried for my safety if I come and shoot you, then we have a problem. I made a thread about this the other day where I said, like, as an artist, you got to pay attention to how you put your brand out there, because you got to remember that other people have to work with you too.
Yeah.
So you got to make it an environment where people feel safe, where people feel welcomed to come and uplift you. Because at the end of the day, we're all here for you and to make sure you execute and do the best you can.
That's facts.
So when you make an unsafe environment, when you have people in your surroundings or whatever that can't be trusted and are up to no good and all, you got to take that into consideration too if you want to take this seriously.
That's
true. Yeah.
Nah, that's true. Man, shout out to Ammaar, man. Make sure, well, fuck, you're gonna have to wait till season 2, which is next year.
Yeah.
For the submissions, but you guys just pay attention, watch for that new show he's about to drop on YouTube. Before I let you go though, I want to bring back something that you said about, you said you're bringing back the renaissance of the city. Now, you talked about a renaissance that had happened in the past. What year was that are you talking about exactly?
I can't remember specifically the year. I think it was around like 2014 to 15 to 16, around there. But it was whenever Joey Badass got on. I remember that was a pin marker. My boy came to me and told me, yo, there's this artist, he's coming up, his name's, I remember I was working at No Frills at Fort Union, and my boy came up to me, shout out Ryan, came up to me, told me about Joey Badass and the whole Beast Coast movement. I checked it out, and then that led into all these other, that opened me up to a whole new world. That was the renaissance in hip hop. But then shortly after that, the renaissance in Toronto started, where you seen the Jazz Cartiers, the Sean Leon, which I still think the city dropped the ball on, even though he's doing his thing, working with Kanye and all that stuff. But I still think the city dropped the ball on Sean Leon. They took Daniel Caesar though, but in my opinion, I was led to Daniel Caesar because Sean Leon was the one to find Daniel Caesar and put him on the pedestal for the IXXI group. So a little Toronto history there. But Sean Leon, flipping Derek Wise, bro. Yo, Derek Wise is so sick. And there's a bunch of other names on. Jimmy from the Six.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Donnie and those guys. What was their group called? I forget. They had a group going on that was wicked with Donnie and those guys.
You're talking about Jimmy from the Six, Donnie, and
what's that song called? The next guy we can't remember the name. He had such a Watch This, I think the name was, yo.
Jay Wiz. Oh my!
Drop the ball on Jay Wiz. Yo, what's wrong with you guys, yo?
Hold on, I'll get the name right now.
We as a city, I'm sorry, yo. The fans, I gotta hold you guys accountable. We had so much going for us at the time, and we dropped the ball on all Prime Boys. Yeah. Prime Boys. That was the same time with Moji. What were they? Halal Gang.
Yeah.
That was another. Oh my. Yo, to this day, I tell everybody, I've been to concerts. I don't be too much. I'm a short guy. Concerts suck for me because
you can't see.
I can't see nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm 5'7", I can't see nothing. But yo, I think it was Halal Gang. A university did it. Halal Gang was there, and I think Prime Boys were there as well. And best concert I've been to. To this day, best concert I've been to.
Wow.
I got to see so many people in the Toronto scene at the time that were shining. All that best concert I've been to, had so much fun. But we need to bring that back, and that's what I'm trying to stimulate again, because there was just so many guys that we dropped the ball on, man, and they're putting out quality work, quality, authentic work. I want to emphasize the authenticity, but like amazing, you know?
Yeah, Jimmy Prime, Jay Wiss, and Donnie.
Yeah, man. Yo, we dropped the ball all the way to the basement on that one guy. Like, dropped the ball. All those guys were sick. Get Home Safe was the crew with Derek Wise, 88 Camino, Jazz Cartier. IXXI had Sean Leon, Daniel Caesar at the time. I think he was a part of IXXI officially. I think they may have another artist. I know they have a new artist now. But then also Halal Gang. And then that was when Safe, at the same time, Safe came out as well. And yeah, Prime Boys, but like all of those groups were happening at the same time.
Yeah.
There was one track, and I got so hyped for it because I think they were making like a mega group where a lot of those people came together, called themselves like Full Circle or something like that.
Wow.
They released one track, had like, I think it had Donnie on it, had a couple people from Halal Gang on it. It had, I don't know if Jimmy from the Six was there, but it was, the track was so sick. I thought they were gonna go through with it. I don't know what happened, but I didn't hear anything of it since, but oh, it was crazy. Like, their logo was like it was like stars in a circle or something like that. It was so sick.
Let me see if I can find that.
I'm just trying to catch everybody up to like Toronto. Like this is Toronto in the GTA. Like we are sick. We are just as good. I feel like we could be what Atlanta is today. We still can, in my opinion. I'm out there. I'm in the field. I'm seeing all the talent. We have more than enough to take off. We just need somebody to spark it and somebody to let everybody know, like, yo, it's possible out here, you know?
So full circle was Donnie, Puffy L, Smoke Dog, Safe, Jimmy Prime, and Jay Wiz.
See what I'm saying? Yo, that... Imagine they made like, yo,
crazy lineup.
That's like an all-star team almost, guy.
Yeah,
that's almost like an all-star team. We're missing a few names, but that's almost like an all-star team.
Produced by Boy Wonder and Murder Beats.
Do you see what I'm
2016? Wow.
Do you see what I'm saying?
How come I don't remember this song?
Yo, oh my! And the thing is, too, you put me onto another fact too. Toronto has some world-class producers, bro.
Yeah, they do.
Imagine if, and to be, in my opinion, I think we have some world-class videographers too. It's not just me. Shout out Macadelic. Shout out Fatty Soprano, who's making waves out here. You guys, like, we have the infrastructure. We have the people here to do it. It's just for somebody to organize it and let you guys know your options, if you get what I'm saying. Because once we start cooking and we really start going, like, yo, sky's the limit for this city, bro. We really can do it, yo, in my opinion.
Okay, so one more question before we leave.
Yeah,
how do we fix then what it is besides the show that you're doing, which I feel like is going to help alleviate a lot. Well, bring to the forefront a lot of the underground artists that need to get their voice heard. But what else needs to be done for our infrastructure to be taken seriously, in your opinion?
So we have, through my program or whatever, we have the video aspect down, right? So obviously, artists, you know your options in terms of what type of feel you want, whether you go to me or the other videographers in the city. I co-sign them all the way. Like, I think we have really good videographers in the city that are available to you. But then now we just need, the next step, in my opinion, is to get back to the concerts, get back to the shows. The shows right now and the way I'm seeing people do them, I don't necessarily agree with it. I know everybody has to make their money, but in terms of charging the artists, like, artists go to concerts and they have a certain, because remember, I was an artist, so I had to go through this too, where you book a show, but then you have to sell a certain amount of tickets to perform. And then typically what happens is that artist ends up paying for all the tickets themselves with their own money, and it's almost like they paid to perform, if you get what I'm saying. And then the thing is, at those shows, everybody's bringing everybody who's non-relevant to hip-hop. They're bringing their granny, they're bringing their little kid, their little son, all that. No, the thing is, we need people in the building who are here for hip-hop, you know, here for the show, here for the artist. The reason why I enjoyed that hip-hop or that concert with Halal Gang and all those other guys is because I knew who they were. I was there for them, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't there to just support one people. I was there for them as artists. So we need a well-branded show, kind of like how I think I'm doing a good job with branding the Ammaar show, but we need somebody to brand it, for lack of a better word, in like a cool type of way, to get that kind of response from the artists as well as the fans. So once you have the Ammaar show, we figure out, like, okay, these are the artists to look out for. These are the artists I really like and all that stuff. Now we move it into, you want to see them live? Do you want everybody in one building? You get to meet them. You get to interact with them. Everybody gets to politic a little bit, and everybody gets to enjoy the show. Now, once we get that, the concert part is the hardest part, but once you get that down, the concert, with the videos, with the stuff like B-Cave's doing, where everybody comes together and records under one house and whatever, now you have a community and a scene. And then you just rinse and repeat. Imagine having a show where either every 6 months or every year you come to, shout out to, I think it's Top 6 that does the award shows for where they give out to Videographer of the Year. Shout out to them. I think that's amazing for the scene too. But once you get the show aspect down, that creates that completes the circle where it's like, this is the scene. Every year we do this. Every year more and more artists kind of come. Every year the fans start to believe a little bit more, just by the way it's branded, by the way it's held, by the way it's curated. The fans start respecting it and coming to it. And then, yeah, sky's the limit. I do want to say, though, for artists, the streaming stuff. Sorry, I know I'm kind of going over the limit.
Keep going. Yeah. Keep going. We cooking.
Bro, we could do this. Like, I love this. This is amazing. So, yo, holler at me whenever you want to do this again. But
perfect.
Like, when it comes to streaming, when it comes to artists putting their music up, I think that's a huge issue, too. I was going to make threads on it, but, you know, I don't like coming from a place of where I'm preaching, but yo, this is to help you guys. And I think, look at what the artist, think about your average artist, how much money they're spending that people don't realize. Like, I wouldn't say it's like golf, but it's like golf. Whereas golf is a super expensive hobby to get into. You gotta buy the clubs, you gotta do the country club membership. Hip hop's kind of the same way, like where per song, bro, you have to go into the studio, record it, get it engineered, pay a separate fee probably to get it engineered and mixed and mastered. You got to do that a couple times, say if it doesn't get right. Then you got to go into making the video. Video's going to cost you a couple hundred to a couple thousand. After the video, it's suggested you have to spend more than what you spent on your video to promote it, to get the proper traction. So my thing is, now we're dropping a couple G's, at this point, for one record that you're serious about. Tell me where your efforts are better spent. On streaming platforms, how much is one stream?
80 streams is a buck, I heard.
80 streams is a buck, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad you did that because I heard the same thing, bro. I heard the same thing. And this is why we got to get over vanity metrics as a culture, bro. 80 streams is $1. A lot of people can't even pass 10, bro.
I know.
So I did the average for 10,000 streams. 10,000 streams is about $25 to $50 on streaming platforms in Canada. You tell me, bro, you release an album direct to consumer and you charge $10 to $15 for that album or whatever. You're telling me you can't sell 10 of those? You can't sell 10 of those to your family and friends. At the very least, your mom's gonna buy one. Your dad's gonna buy one. Your cousins may buy one or whatever. You telling me you can't send? Dog, you just made double. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, when you go onto these other streaming promo platforms, for 10,000 views, you gotta pay like 100 or a couple hundred maybe sometimes. So you're telling me you can't sell, your efforts aren't better spent trying to figure out and get over that hump of selling direct to consumer than it is getting over that hump to get more vanity metrics and streams that are fractions of a penny?
Why do you think the directive, because I want to say it's a directive. Why is it directive streaming over direct to consumer?
Why do people prefer that?
Why do you think is because I feel like
It's vanity, bro.
it's much more than that. I feel like it's something that somebody in the upper up said, yo, we're gonna put everybody, we're gonna change everybody's brain to make them feel like streaming is way more important than selling directly to your fan base.
It was genius how they did it, bro. 'Cause like, remember back when before streaming they had an issue with people burning CDs.
Yeah,
and
a
stealing music.
huge issue.
Yeah, so that was to rectify that. That was partly to rectify that. Don't get me wrong.
Correct.
So it was a good solution in that sense. So I realized, oh, this is a good solution or whatever. But now what you guys are doing is you're handing over the power. Once you guys got to think about it like this. You're handing over convenience. You know what I'm saying? Because, yo, remember, this ain't just for hip-hop. This is for life, bro. There's no solutions, only trade-offs. Only trade-offs. So you guys traded convenience. All right, no, you guys traded your profit for convenience. That's what hip-hop did, and they don't realize they did that. Because, yo, you don't know what you don't know at the end of the day. So I don't blame you, because around this corner, somebody could be standing there. I don't know if they're standing there. I never even thought to think about it, and that's what scares me. But now that I know, I tell other people so they know. So with this, in terms of it, you don't know what you don't know. So when it comes to you trading your profit for convenience, you never knew you did that. You just saw it as, oh, they came up with a solution for or they came up with a solution for pirating. That's good for artists. But then now when you look at that profit, which not most people take in, because they're still on streaming platforms, they're like, yo, I make fractions of a penny. It takes 80 views to make $1. I sell 1 million records. Why am I only making $3,000 to $5,000, bro? What the heck? Imagine if you sold a fraction of that million streams in actual direct-to-consumer sales.
You'd be balling.
You'd be balling. But the thing is, your numbers wouldn't be as inflated. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I say vanity metrics, because out of Instagram, my thing is, as a creator, what you do, and this is why I like YouTube so much, that a lot of people don't take in. YouTube doesn't have a follow count, like who you're following counter. It only has a subscriber counter, who's following you.
Yeah.
Those are the true creation platforms. Other platforms, what they're doing when they have that who you're following, they're subliminally saying, yo, this is a hierarchy. Because I don't care, stop lying to me. What every artist, pays attention to is their follower to following ratio.
Yeah, I know. I always tell people, yo, I can't follow more people than who's following me.
But the thing is, on YouTube, I could follow as many people as I want
want.
because you won't see it.
Exactly.
You only but then I'm still creating too.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you'll see who's following me though. You'll see
Yeah.
those likes. You'll see those
Yeah.
subscribers. You know, so that's
Yeah.
a true create, and that's why I rock with YouTube so heavy.
No, me too.
So
Plus,
that's
YouTube pays me too. But I love
so,
YouTube.
yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But even more so. So what I think, going back to the seed of everything, is like I think artists need to start selling their music. Oh, don't even provide a streaming alternative. It's you need to figure this problem out now. Like yesterday, you need to figure this problem out. Force yourself to figure it out because your efforts, what you can do, and this is what I was coming up with, like a cool strategy. What artists can do is you may put out like a cool minute of your song on streaming, if you want. I still don't suggest it, but what you do is you create the music video. Let the music video be the sample for the people to taste, because everybody has to go to YouTube. People don't like playing YouTube outside of home or outside of Wi-Fi because what? It consumes your data. So what does that do? It creates a need for them to have your music outside of the house.
Mm-hmm.
That pushes them to go straight to your Bandcamp or wherever you could sell direct to computer or consumer.
Mm-hmm.
They buy the record, now they have it with them on the go.
All the time.
And it was only $2. I think they should be charging $2. I know the regular thing is $1, but just for literally at most a toonie, you have your record that you could play wherever. If we get back to that, that'll fix everything because that'll create a need for curation. So these music playlists or whatever like that. Now it's like, okay, I have my best performing single on these playlists. So people find that single, they go digging and they find the rest of my stuff on my Bandcamp.
Yeah.
If it's a music video, they go see my music video. They saw the short form on Instagram. They see the full thing on YouTube. They saw the full thing from the short form, and now they like it. Okay, cool. Now they could go buy the record. But I think we need to get back to that, at least digitally. So we need to find a way to stop people from, I guess, sharing the free tracks, which is really hard. But I think the quicker we face these problems, the quicker we come up with solutions, and the quicker people can get paid and be more passionate about what they're making. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because a lot of times the people, they get discouraged by not seeing all the hard work that they put in. What they get back, it's like you said, pennies on a dollar.
Yeah.
So it's like, how the fuck do I balance this out? Now, I also want to say that I feel like the average artist, they're afraid. They're afraid of putting their music on Bandcamp and saying, hey guys, I have my single on Bandcamp. It's only gonna cost $1. Please support me. I'm afraid that they'll get no response or they get no sales.
But my thing, that's the problem, right? We identified a problem. So that's what I mean with we got to face the problem sooner than later. Once you face that problem, you start working for a solution. So my thing is like you said, they're afraid. In that sense, yeah, but in another sense too, they're afraid of reality. Because if they put a dollar amount behind and they sell direct to consumer, now it's showing them their actual worth to their fan base.
That's what I'm saying. They're afraid.
So that's what they're afraid of.
They're afraid to face the reality that all the shit that they've been doing, all the hard work they've been done, really they have no fans. And that goes back to the follower-we ratio. The people that are really following you, are they really your fans?
That's what I'm saying. But then it also, the solution though, at that point now, let's think of it glass half full now. Yeah, your fans don't want to buy your single or whatever. It still could be a cool single. It's just that these people don't want to come off of their pockets right quick. So what you do is you advertise. This is where social media is supposed to be used for. Like any other business, you could be selling pens as a business. You still have to advertise to a wider audience. You advertise to 100,000 people, a small section of that 100,000 people will actually capitalize and buy. But the thing is, now that you're direct to consumer, instead of seeing fractions of a penny because they clicked on your Spotify link or whatever, you're going to see $2 at a time, $1 at a time. Imagine 100,000 people you advertise to, I guess best case scenario, right now, 100,000 people you advertise to, but only like 5,000 bought your single. For $2, let's say. 5,000 people bought your single. Yo, that's $10,000 you just made. $10,000 off of direct to consumers. Bandcamp will take a little bit off the top.
It'll take like, I think, if you sell for $1, I think they're taking 20 cents.
That's what I'm saying.
Something small like that. What the industry does anyways.
Yeah, but it's really worth it compared to streaming.
No,
so
for sure.
My thing is your efforts and all that money you're spending on advertising, creating the music video, still do it.
Yeah.
Still do everything you're doing to get your song out there. But all you got to do is just switch out that Spotify link for that Bandcamp or whatever direct-to-consumer platform you want to do and push people there, bro. I know you guys want as many people there as possible, but my thing is we need to see the cream of the crop. You want people here who actually care about you.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
exactly. You're 100% right. I'll even go as far as this. What I would do if I was an artist now coming out, now that you're bringing all these ideas, you'll make a great manager. But now that I'm thinking with all these ideas, what I would do is I would make a full song, 3 minutes, on Spotify and everywhere else. I would drop like half of that song, and then at the end of it, be like, full version on Bandcamp.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Put some annoying ass tag on it or something like that.
And push everybody to the Bandcamp to actually experience the full record.
Exactly. Yo, let me tell you a story that happened to me back in the day. There's this group. I forget what they were called. Awful Records, I think they were called. Their main artist was this guy named Father. He was dope. He had another.
I know that guy. I think I heard of him.
Yeah, I liked him. He was super unique, super DIY sound, but it worked. You know what I'm saying? Super authentic. Again, authenticity. But he had another artist in his group. What this guy did, and it was the biggest tease up to this day that I can remember. This guy released some fire snippet just on YouTube. It was only like maybe a minute, maybe 58 seconds of the song, but it was so fire. And it was just a video he recorded at the side of a building, and then he just cut it off, abruptly cut it off at the end. Never released the track at all, bro. He just put snippet beside it on the video. Never really. I've been searching for that track for years, bro.
Wow.
Still haven't got it. But you see, that's demand, yo. If we put that on, if he was to put that track on Bandcamp, just by the way I guess indirectly marketed it.
Yeah.
I'm sure he just got lazy. I haven't seen any kind of music from him since. But just from him just putting it on Bandcamp, I probably would have bought that song. It's just $1, guy.
Yeah.
It's just $1. And this is what consumers need to think. Yo, it's just $1. Just like how you go there, you buy $60 pants or whatever like that. Yo, it's just $1 for some music, bro. If you like it, buy it, guy.
$4 water. That's like 3.
Exactly.
Fucking, this costs like maybe $2 somewhere.
So
this is $1,000 odd.
Exactly.
Like, $1 is not that bad. You can get it borrowed, whatever.
you
know
you could do $1, guy. Like, come on, man. Basically, I just wanted to just say, what I'm trying to do right now is, obviously I'm trying to spark a renaissance in Toronto, but overall, I want to be a part of that solution to bring value back to music. Because in this streaming era, we've really devalued it to the point where it's almost worthless.
100%.
You know, the lane is way too saturated. I get, everybody wants to do music, everybody wants to be a star, but it's time to separate the cream from the crop from the people who just want to be hobbyists. And that's why I'm here to curate and separate that. You know, not to say you don't have talent, but the people who need more development, all right, stay in the back, develop yourself. When you're ready, come up front. We'll try it out again. But for the people who are here, been working hard and whatever, here's your opportunity. Let's build something that lasts and create a lane for not just yourself, but for everybody in Toronto who deserves it. You know?
Yeah, and they're dope. Listen, man, I could have you here all day.
Yo, real time.
You're gonna have to come back.
Yo, I will so much.
The cameras is burning. Let people know how to get in contact with you if they want. Maybe you know what? One more thing before with your thing.
Yeah.
If someone sees the series and want to shoot just a regular video with you, don't want to be a part of the series, is that still possible? Well, I'm pretty sure it is. But
it's still.
What comes first, your show or the priority of the artist offering you money to work on this?
All my business guys out there are gonna hate me for this, but right now it's a legacy play I'm doing right now, and to me this makes more impact, like the series, and I feel like it helps more people. So right now, for at least this year, this is gonna be the focus of me right now, because I want to just complete it, deliver on all my promises, keep my word and all that stuff, and see what this is going out for. But if you need a video from me, you can still reach out. I still do keep my schedule clear enough where I could take certain projects on and stuff like that. So I will do it, but I will be a bit selective in the process.
Listen, that's the one question I forgot to ask you. But let everybody know how to get in contact with you, man.
All right, so you guys can follow me at the.ammar.show on Instagram, and then it's The Ammaar Show on YouTube. So the way you spell my name is AMMAAR, so AMMAAR. Yeah.
Yeah, that is very unique. AMMAAR.
Exactly.
That's very, very thing. So, hey, man, that series is gonna come out real soon.
May,
next couple months. May is the first one.
May is gonna be the first one. Already have episode 2 filmed.
Oof.
Filming episode 1. I'm filming episode 1, 2, and 3 this next coming weekend.
Oof.
And then just to have a backstock and then so I'm working a month in advance. if you
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
all the time, so.
People don't know the importance
Yeah,
of
of organizing. I would never be able to do this if I didn't organize.
right. Like
Shit.
that's so pivotal. But hey, it's the Madnam Show.
You
We
know
out.
what it is, man. Thank you.